Hey there, Greg with Boom Up Engineering. Here we are on the tailgate of the pickup, quite possibly one of the best places there is. Figured we'd go over some non-engineering stuff like often happens. We've got some new things in from West Coast Saw. You know, I'm not a huge logger, but they have just a few things I thought would be helpful, and yeah, let's take a quick look at them, and who knows, maybe it'll help somebody else. Now here's something that's nice and definitely not necessary to work on your saw, but Rachet Scrench, you know, 20 bucks from their shop. I don't know if they're affiliated with having these things made. You know, these aren't made in USA, obviously, but we'll see how long they last. They are handy. I mean, you're not going to pull the spark plug out with these, but you'll do your bar nuts and adjust the tension on your chain. And so far so good. You know, it's just a simple ratchet with a toggle going back and forth to change direction. So again, nothing fancy, 20 bucks. I got a couple just to help make sure I've always got a Scrench on hand, and I like them. I suppose if you have a full wrap handle, these may be more useful for getting around the wrap that is sometimes around the bar nuts there. So again, thought I'd give her a go. Another thing, you know, when I got this 2511T, it didn't have any sort of spikes on it, bumpers. This saw is so light and it revs up pretty high. It doesn't have a ton of torque. There's not much for rotating mass, and so it can be real easy for the chain to chatter and catch and grab and release, and just isn't real smooth. So I think it's pretty necessary to have some sort of set of spikes here to get up against the log or the branch, whatever have you, and just make it more pleasurable to use this lightweight saw. If you look at, you know, about any other saw, like this is a Makita, this thing weighs literally 3.5 pounds more than the Echo. I scaled this at about 10.5 pounds, pretty much exactly, and that's with the batteries topped off, bar oil. But 10.5 pounds, and this one's coming in at about 7. I think it was maybe slightly under 7. I think they claim 6.5 pounds for this saw. So got a 3/8 low profile 14-inch bar on here. So anyway, when I got the saw, I ordered it with the Echo bumper there, and it is pretty small, but I mean it's functional. And to just show you how the West Coast and the Echoes compare. Hopefully you can see through the bag there. But there's quite a bit of difference. So you got the Echo, which is probably barely adequate, and then you've got the West Coast that is, yeah, it's beyond what you need, but it does work. But you're obviously giving up some bar length there. You know, you could go to a 16-inch bar, but more bar, more weight, more chain, more cutters, more drag, parasitic losses. I haven't tried a 16 on here. I will say that I do have the Oregon Nano, Speed Cut Nano chain and bars ordered for this saw. Looks like Husqvarna is running that size of chain on their, what is it, the 540i top handle electric saw. I don't know what other saws are running that size chain on, but that's 0.325, 0.043 gauge, you know, small cutter chain, narrow kerf. So we're going to give that a go whenever that comes in. That should be better than this 3/8 LP. You know, a brand new chain isn't going to be much fun on this saw. When you get a filing or two into it, you can get it to smooth out, and yeah, then it's not going to be so bad. So again, West Coast saw, pretty decent felling, you know, felling dogs, I guess. Yeah, you could fell small trees with this, I guess. But I think this was only about 16 bucks, maybe 14, and they're running a sale right now. You can get 10%, 15%, depending on how much you spend. But I thought that was a pretty good deal to get the bumper spikes for, like, say, possibly 16 bucks, and they give you the screws. Echo doesn't give you the screws, so by the time you buy this and you buy the screws, you're probably into it about the same price as the West Coast. And shoot, you might as well support a good company like West Coast Saw. And yeah, I'll just give you a close-up there. Yeah, little excessive, but we get the job done. What else did I get? Just a cheap chain bag. You know, this is some cheap leather. It was probably about 15 bucks. I figured, what the heck, you know, keep a spare loop of chain on me or throw it in the saw case. Probably not a bad thing. I'm gonna try one of their depth plates. I just realized I don't have any Raker depth gauges for 3/8 low profile. You know, anything I've done is either, you know, newer chains and or just taking a little off with a hand file by eye. So I guess we'll give the West Coast gauge a try for 3/8. These are a little bit expensive at about 14 bucks a pop. They do have all the sizes, so with the sale they have going on, I may just buck up and get the rest of the sizes. They also have pretty fair prices on these wedges, K&H. You know, I'm not a huge expert, but it seems like K&H is regarded as the best. You know, they're the most durable for the, I don't know if that's technically plastic or nylon, whatever this is considered to be, but durable. But I like these little 5.5 inch wedges, you know, and for 7 bucks a pop, they're what I prefer. You know, I've bought some others. I don't even know what brand this is, but you get a little more lift with the K&H, and yeah, for a lot of uses, working on smaller trees and whatnot, I like these little compact little 5.5 inch wedges. The only thing, you know, how do you carry them? Like, you can easily get a, you know, nice weaver or some other leather pouch to carry the bigger wedges in, but even these are getting to be a little bit small for being able to pluck out of the carrier there. So I don't know. I mean, I do have some just little tool pouches or fastener pouches, maybe a lot of times these are called. I guess you just put one of those on your belt and, you know, throw those in there. I guess that's about all I know to do, and I think that's about it that I got out of them. Like I said, they got a sale going on. I'll probably order some chain. Maybe it's kind of unfortunate. I just got a spool of 100 feet of 3/8 Husqvarna C83. I've never used the Husqvarna chain before, but it was so cheap, I just figured out, what the heck, you know, it was like 250 bucks for 100 feet, and I guess I'll just make my own 3/8 chains going forward. Not a big deal. But yeah, good stuff. You guys got any questions or comments or suggestions? Yeah, just let me know. Thanks for watching.